This is Euronews now. I'm Helena Humphrey. Here are your top stories. President Zelensky tells Russian forces to flee as Ukrainian troops say they're making progress in the battle to reclaim Kherson. Pakistan appeals for urgent international aid as officials say that a third of the country is now underwater and 33 million people have been affected by catastrophic floods. And in Iraq, influential cleric Muqtada al-Sadr orders his supporters to leave Baghdad's green zone after dozens were killed in clashes.
Ukrainian military claims to have broken through Russia's first line of defense in the occupied Kherson region, nearly a day after launching its counter-offensive in the south.
Ukraine is returning its own, and it will return the Kharkiv region, Luhansk region, Donetsk region, Zaporizhia region, Kherson region, Crimea, definitely our entire water area of the Black Sea and the Sea of Azov. This will happen. This is ours.
All this as Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky awards soldiers killed in combat the Golden Star Medal, calling them the heroes of Ukraine, gifting their family the country's highest honor. Russian-appointed Kherson officials are denying any Ukrainian counter-offensive in the region.
No one liberates the Kherson region and the city of Kherson. And the more Zelensky, who is driven by the West, declares offensives, the more people want a referendum.
The arduous task of cleaning up again underway in the southern city of Mykolaiv. Russian shelling hit homes there on Monday, killing at least 2 people. A major transportation hub, Mykolaiv has suffered heavy, continuous bombardments throughout the war.
A team of International Atomic Energy Agency inspectors has arrived in Kyiv, charged with supervising safety at the Russian-occupied Zaporizhia nuclear power plant. It's a complicated mission in a war zone that will begin this week, when the team sets off for the city of Enerdogar. After months of difficult negotiations, Russia has welcomed the move.
We hope that this mission will take place as agreed and stipulated. I repeat it once again, we are interested in this mission and have been waiting for it for a long time.
The possibility of something going wrong at Zaporizhia has worried European leaders.
There is a nuclear gambling in the nuclear power station. Zaporizhia is something very dangerous. So the situation in the ground continues being very bad. Ukraine needs our support, and we will continue providing this support, both with military capacities, and also the ministers will discuss about the idea of putting in place a high-level training mission for the Ukrainian army.
Inspecting a nuclear plant littered with holes and bomb fragments will be novel for most of the inspectors. It's now hoped that the possibilities of an accident will be significantly reduced.
Pakistan is calling for urgent international help as months of heavy rain continue to cause flooding, submerging entire regions. So far, over 1,000 people have been killed and nearly 500,000 have been forced into camps after losing their homes. The United Nations is requesting €160 million in aid for the country described as now resembling a small ocean.
Right now, 1/3 of Pakistan is underwater and 33 million are affected. This is a huge humanitarian disaster, and I would call it quite apocalyptic.
Many already fear the deadly floods are due to climate change, but scientists say it's yet too early to officially confirm that.
Well, this year has been 53 degrees plus the mercury, and we've been the hottest place on the planet. The glaciers burst, the outburst floods came down 3 times as much as they do normally. So we've had just a 300% increase. And what we saw is really the result of glacier melting, is really the result of global warming.
So far, the damage is thought to total some €10 billion, and the UN is warning that the situation will get worse as the rain is expected to continue. 3.1 million people have also been displaced, and humanitarian organisations are trying to help, but with much of the country's infrastructure destroyed, getting access to many remote areas is proving extremely difficult.
Protesters loyal to Iraqi cleric Muqtada Sadra are withdrawing from Baghdad's green zone. After nearly 24 hours of heavy fighting with security forces at the government palace, the Sadr's leader warned his supporters in a televised address that this is not a revolution and that they'd 1 hour to fall back.
I apologise to the Iraqi people, the only ones affected by the events. I still believe that the party is disciplined and obedient. That's why, if within 60 minutes you don't withdraw, even from the sit-in outside Parliament, then I will disown you and my party as well.
It comes as 23 supporters of the powerful Shiite leader who suddenly quit politics were shot dead. Around 380 people were also injured from bullet wounds and tear gas. Iraq's military has also announced an end to a recent curfew. Mourners attended a mass funeral for those killed as tensions soar amid a political crisis which has left the country without a new government after months of talks.
The United Nations has warned that Afghanistan faces deepening poverty with 6 million people at risk of famine. The country faces multiple crises: humanitarian, economic, climate, hunger and financial. More than half of the population needs assistance, and 1 million children are suffering from severe malnutrition. The UN is urging donors to restore funding for economic development. Serena Williams has extended her farewell tour for at least 2 more days, beating Montenegro's Danka Kovanic in the US Open in New York. The 23 Grand Slam singles champion is set to retire after the tournament. She is 1 short of Australian Margaret Court's all-time record, and is also playing in the doubles alongside older sister Venus. Global rights groups have blasted the Serbian government's decision to cancel an international LGBTQ pride event scheduled for next month. President Alexander Vučić has blamed bad timing. He denies the decision was made due to mounting pressures from more radical parts of society and the Serbian Orthodox Church. Organisers of the Pride event say they will go ahead anyway.
Artificial intelligence has become indispensable to everyday life, and not keen to fall behind, the French fiscal authorities are getting in on the act. But in a rather unusual way. Using satellite images, they've constructed an algorithm to detect swimming pools which have not been declared to the authorities.
We can see on this aerial photograph, which you have on the right-hand side, a swimming pool next to the house. If we cross-check the land registry, there is no trace of the swimming pool.
So far, they've found 20,000 pools over 9 departments across France, which corresponds to just under €10 million in lost revenue for the finance department. At a time of tight public purse strings, and with a looming economic slowdown, this is money France cannot afford to just wash away. After various heat waves this summer, many in France decided to install pools in their gardens. As a result, they increased the value of their properties, and thus the amount of property taxes that were owed. Eventually, tax authorities hope that the AI employed here could be used to detect other undeclared home improvements, such as verandas and other outbuildings.
You're watching Euronews now. Stay with us. We're back after a short break.